Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected Chairman and my dear delegates present here, one end of the dais. In this session, I'm going to speak about the topic Reinventing Knowledge Tradition and Social Renovation in Contemporary South Asia from the Alternative Lessons of Medresetuzzehra. First of all, I'd like to just brief about my paper. My paper tends to focus on the relevance of Medresetuzzehra model intellectual engagements in contemporary South Asia. First, what is the reason that made Badiuzzzaman Said Nursi to think about the concept Medresetuzzehra? What is the problem of the era that he faced, and what is the concept of Medresetuzzehra, and later on the South Asian madrasas, its problems, and how can we find solutions through the Medresetuzzehra concept. And when we go on, the madrasas in South Asia had a prominent role in shaping the culture and education of the region, but as time and tide moved forward, the Islamic schools or the madrasas lagged in many grounds due to the different reasons and circumstances. It is here where the concept of Medresetuzzehra has a prominent role to play in developing the perfection of the South Asian madrasas. Badiuzzzaman Said Nursi played a critical role in developing the concept of Medresetuzzehra for the betterment of his people and their development in educational statuses when serious problems were faced, which he detected and thought for the development of this concept. And there were a lot of reasons that promoted Badiuzzzaman Said Nursi for the development of this. In the era that he lived, there were a many number of madrasas, but they all lacked and had their own demerits. They all couldn't meet the needs of the generation. As all the madrasas in the region lacked on many grounds in providing a well-equipped, facilitated education, in most madrasas, sufficient amount of teaching staff were not available. The problems are among this, more than seeing the religious teaching as a profession, it was the spiritual purpose, but only few looked for that because this profession did not meet the financial needs of the teaching staff, and hence when this brings them only financial difficulties, only few join to be a teacher wishing virtues in the hereafter. Due to the lack of financial resources, the madrasas could not meet the needs in providing good salary for the teaching staff, as the financial incomes were very much limited, like donation, which had to be utilized for all the needs of madrasas. The madrasas building were also deemed too primitive, as infrastructural facilities play a major role in the growth of education. Here, these needs could not be met, which led to the regular dropout and illiteracy in religious knowledge of the elite classes. The madrasas also continued to operate in very primitive conditions. The teachers had a crucial role in this, as they feared the bringing of changes in madrasas or the teaching pattern may change the religious beliefs or may affect the traditional aspect of the religion. Training methods in the madrasas were outdated and did not meet the needs of the era. Providing only religious education led to the illiteracy of modern subjects and increased the gap of the population relating the religious education with modern sciences. Badiuzzzaman Said Nursi realized this lack of education and opportunities, foreseeing that this can cause great difficulties in the future, and came forward in rectifying these adverse conditions and providing sufficient training that is required. In this context, the Medresetuzzehra was born as a necessity. The concept of Medresetuzzehra. As a solution to all the problems in the time of Badiuzzzaman Said Nursi, he put forward a fantastic project that can overcome the problems in his era. It was the Medresetuzzehra project, for which he sacrificed the rest of his life in meeting the needs of the religion and modernity fruitfully. Medresetuzzehra was then in its plan on certain objectives like renewing and improving the madrasas. This project also aimed to ensure the future of Kurdish and Turkish scholars, requirements of modern methods of education and science, which is to open a way to get to the madrasas. At the same time, create a pure source of science to remove the central reasons keeping them away from science were among the objectives of the Medresetuzzehra project. Its official status is characterized as equivalent to official schools, but as a special thought and not an official institution of the state. In brief, it shall be considered to be an official level private organization. Financial resources will be from the Medresetuzzehra foundations and donors such as alms, charity, sacrifice, personal gratifications and offerings. Medresetuzzehra spiritual will feed the zeal and enthusiasm of the people in the region. This project also includes Darul Muallimin, where teacher training faculties will be included here. The educational training style of madrasas includes the culmination of the knowledge of tradition with the knowledge of science. Modern science with the wisdom and knowledge of religion will be taught in madrasas along the Medresetuzzehra. However, little attention had been paid to madrasas that remain prominent actors with the non-profit education sector in most Muslim communities. And Risale-Noor will be used as the textbook in Medresetuzzehra. The professors, that is the teaching staff of Medresetuzzehra, will embrace certain features that literist and esoteric knowledge to be the foundation, and shall be familiar with the local languages and Kurdish states. That Kurds and Turks should also be chosen from among whom he had confidence. These were some among the plans produced by Said Nursi in building the Medresetuzzehra and coping up the problems of the era in which he lived. When speaking about the South Asian madrasas, there was a very great potential in meeting the needs of the generation on the basis of education. Madrasas in South Asia remain an important area of study for both academics and policymakers, hosting two largely Muslim countries like Pakistan, which had about 98%, and Bangladesh, which had 90%, and an equally large Muslim population in the multi-religious India, which had about 12%. The South Asian madrasas have been at the center of concerns about militancy. At the same time, the number of madrasas in the three countries is large enough to make some argue the potential benefits of using madrasas to impart secular education, given the challenges faced by their religion in meeting the education for all targets. There are 16,000 registered madrasas in Pakistan, 9,000 in Bangladesh, and while no government recognized data on Indian madrasas is available, all estimates place the figure at about thousands. Studies suggest that total student population in madrasas in India and Pakistan is relatively low. About 4% of Muslim children in India and less than 1% of school-age population in Pakistan are estimated to be in madrasas. Madrasas having all types of possibility in the growth of educational sector in South Asia, they are still facing challenges in meeting the peaks of their needs. In Bangladesh, the government pays for the salary of the core teaching staff with the aliyah, the reformed madrasas for secular as well as religious subjects. By comparison, the financial incentives offered by the state in Pakistan and in India have been more limited. In Pakistan, the reform program provides for the training of 28,000 madrasa teachers for the teaching of secular subjects and gives textbooks, stationery, computers and furniture to the madrasas. However, in terms of core costs, it only provides for the salaries of the teachers of secular subjects and not the numerous religious subject teachers who constitute the core of madrasa teaching staff. The national level reform program in India similarly offers relatively weak financial incentives. The scheme includes 100% support for 2 qualified teachers per madrasa on a salary of about rupees 3,000, less than half the salary of teachers appointed in government schools. As in Pakistan, it does not provide for the salaries of religious teachers. Given that in a madrasa, the majority of teachers are engaged to teach religious subjects in Pakistan and most states in India, the reform programs leave the main financial burden on the madrasa administration. In contrast to Bangladesh, the state in Pakistan and India did not have any active religious body supporting the reform program. In Pakistan, the reform program implemented since 2002 has suffered from serious distrust from the religious community because of its being seen as part of US-led war on terror, where the objective is to control the madrasas rather than support them. Post-educational profession was also a point of concern that was badly affected in many South Asian madrasas. In Bangladesh and many parts of India, madrasas were financially weak in the 1980s. More importantly, they were giving education in Urdu, and they were losing students as they were not getting jobs anywhere and the curriculum was also very biased towards certain kinds of jobs. The ulama ideological commitments also played a role in being a blockage for the growth of madrasas. The ulama and state officials clashed on the very concept of what knowledge is. For senior ulama, knowledge demands the pursuit of truth for its own sake, with little consideration of employment matters, which the state is whereas the state is more concerned with education to produce a productive workforce. Additionally, the ulama repeatedly recorded concerns that acceptance of state funds could in the long term lead to comparisons on core religious principles. There were a recognition that once the head of the madrasa becomes used to a regular income for the state, the comfort of the regular income can lead to compromises on religious beliefs. Therefore, it was thought best not to get used to such comfort. Further, in Bangladesh and West Bengal, ulama from orthodox madrasas repeatedly expressed the view that the reformed madrasas has lost their original purpose, namely to promote Islam and become just another form of regular school. Like the Maulana Abdul Razak al-Habadi from Rabata al-Madaris in West Bengal quoted, their names in madrasas their name is madrasas, but they are actually high schools. Hindu boys also study there. Like this, the ulama comments also made influenced in the South Asian madrasas, and also many other factors like infrastructural facilities also affected the madrasa system in South Asia. Coming to the conclusion, in a nutshell, South Asian madrasas faced almost same problems faced in the time of Badiüzzaman Said Nursi. Thereby, the primary solutions applied by Said Nursi in coping up the problems of his era are primarily applicable in the case of South Asia also. Badiüzzaman let go the ideal of Medresetuzzehra until his death. Medresetuzzehra did not happen as the ideal health institutions. One of the important duties left to a Nursi student is the realization of the establishment, as these both contexts are not totally different and go parallel on almost all paths. Thus, the ideals of Medresetuzzehra can be brought into South Asia also for the better growth in the educational sector, as these both go parallel and have a common platform. We can combine this when we compare this both situations, we can understand that the ideals of Badiüzzaman Said Nursi can be brought to the South Asia also for the betterment of the education for all needs and the Islamic needs also. And by this I would like to conclude. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.